Hey guys, and welcome to our weekly market overview with now FX. Good to have you here once more. So we're going to be going over our general weekly market overview on some currency pairs and as well as Bitcoin and gold. So quickly, let us go right into it. So quick disclaimer, you want to understand that there's risk in trading, so you want to ensure that you're trading with risk capital only. Okay, I'm going to be your host as usual. My name is Naomi Alexander. I'm a senior market analyst and a forex coach. So we'll be looking at this currency pairs and what to expect from them this week, at least what I'm expecting from the market in terms of this currency pairs. So we'll just quickly look at this. So let's jump over to the chat and then let's have some fun. Okay, so starting off, let's begin with BTC against the dollar. Just like we have been talking about on this channel, just like I've been talking about, the BTC did what do you call it? Bitcoin has been looking quite weak. Even though a lot of people just seem to think it has bottomed out, but I've been talking about how the market has been looking quite weak. If you look at the construct of the market, its bears are seriously in control, and they'll continue to be in control until people start taking out some of these major areas. So, first of all, the key level that I am more interested in, as far as this pair is concerned, to be interested in buying is this level here, right around 40K. So that is, this level around 40K has been the stumbling block for bulls. And then you could see how after this sell-off, after this huge sell-off, they have struggled to get back above it, even though they've tested this area several times. You can see how this last retest was brought bears into the market, and they tested back 30K level. Now, you can see this trend line that I drew here. This could also be something bulls the buyers need to take care of if we're going to see price head higher. Alternatively, what I do expect or might expect is you can see how the market is still making lower lows, right? And until we see a change in structure, I have to respect the fact that bears are in control. So the construct of the market seems to be that this level, you can see how the market is treasuring this 30K level. And when we see the market retest or hanging on, leaning against a level, very likely we might see that level break. Now, except something drastic happen, it's looking quite likely that we might see the market break this 30K level. And if that happens, you could see based on previous price action, there's really nothing stopping price until we see around 24, 25K level. That's why I have my arrow right around here. So buyers need to ensure that price stays above 30K, at least closes the day above 30K. You see we have several spikes. As long as buyers can keep the price up, then they have a chance. Else, if we do see a daily close below this level, I don't see anything stopping price from coming back. Then maybe we do have that flush out where the market, does this flush out, close below here, flush out most of the little guys, and then begins to push a little bit higher. And personally, I'll be staying away from trading Bitcoin until I see some more constructive price. Okay, so that'll be it on BTC. Quickly, let's look at XAUUSD, which is gold. Also not very interesting after we had this fake out from this channel top. So the market did break above the channel, but ended up closing back down. This level did not hold as expected. So right now, it's anybody's game. However, you can see how we talked about this area, which was support around here. You can see how it was support around here as well. You can see how it was support here too as well. And then you see how this level is serving as support. Buyers are holding price above. What we could see here is we could see a move. The resistance comes here around 13 area, 18, 12, 13 area, just around there, and this is support. So if we do, what we might see is a situation where we might get rotation, higher back to this area. So this would be resistance. However, if you see any rotation back down here, this could also serve as support and offer some buying opportunity back up. Alternatively, if you get a daily close below this level, well, there's really nothing stopping price, up until this area. Mostly we have this support back around 1677 area. Okay, so now let's go into some forex pairs. Let's look at some the dollar crosses, some major dollar pairs. So before that, I'd like to look at the TXY, which is the dollar index that measures the dollar against the major currencies. And last week, I talked about how after this sell-off, I was kind of expecting a pullback down. You could see that in the previous video. Like we could see some weakness in the dollar more or less, where the market just balances out. I could see the market come back and retest this area. Sure enough, that is kind of what we are having. The market last week was the dollar was slow, and so it's more or less balancing out. So what we could then be looking at, we might see some dollar strength this week. If you look at the what they call it, the news in terms of the economic news report, there's really no major news. So it means except till Thursday, where we have I think on Thursday where we have the we have the OPEC meeting and then the ISM manufacturing PMI. So there's no major event in terms of high impact news. So technical will probably rule supreme. So we might see the dollar start gaining some strength this week. So with that in mind, there are a few dollar pair I like their look. So Euro USD is one of them. So Euro USD after this huge sell-off, I was expecting a pullback up onto this level. So this area here, this is resistance, would probably serve as resistance. We didn't actually get there. We just barely got there. So we might still see the dollar head higher and we test this area. So anywhere around here, I'll be looking for potential selling opportunities to sell the market back down because it seems the dollar wants to come back and we test this area. However, I want to pay attention to confirmation. And then, so I'm looking for price reaction if the market does come back to test some of this previous level, or even anywhere back around maybe the midway point of this area, or even this FM rates area. This was the place where last week we had the sell-off. So the market may actually come back and retest this area before sellers come out and continue the momentum. Okay, so but one that is looking quite constructive is the pound against the dollar. So the pound dollar looks quite interesting, quite straightforward. You could see how we had this trend line here that has dated back since 2020 May. I can see how it has served as a key level holding price up. So we did have the break below this area around here. And then sure enough, you could see how the market has come back with and retested that area. And we are having this rejection more or less from that level. So this one is looking quite nice. If it continues this way, we would likely see the pound dollar come back and retest this, take out this low. And if that happens, there's nothing stopping it from coming down back to 3,600. Okay, one last one would be the dollar against the Canadian, which is one of the most technically sound pair I can see around because of the structure. We had this. If we go to the weekly time frame, you would see how this is a major level. So you could see how this is a major level. For years, you can see how this was support all through here. You can see how this was support. And then, so when we saw price here for weeks, actually, for months, I've been waiting for this turnaround, looking for sign, and I've been accumulating positions all through here. And sure enough, we had that push that we got last 2 weeks that took the dollar up all through this area. Now, I'm still very much interested in buying this pair. So what I'm looking for is for some dollar strength. If we start seeing some dollar strength, along with the fact that it's the price for oil, so the US oil, it's the price structure for oil seems to look like we're going to have some corrective move in the oil. And if that happens, it means the Canadian dollar would likely be one that suffers for it. So a weakened Canadian dollar would support USD card buyers. Okay, so any rotation toward this area, I'll be looking to buy this level, you know, buy the market up. Target comes around here and up here around here. So that'll be all for me for the week. You want to ensure that you're trading with proper risk management, because managing your risk is the only way to stay in the game. I hope you enjoyed the training. I'll see you in the next training. Until then, stay safe and bye.